For as long as I could remember, 4 players was the most amount of players you could fit on a single screen. That is until 2014 with Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. 8 players on one screen, all at the same time? That sounded absolutely insane! Of course, I had to try it. About a year later, a friend of mine had a graduation party, and so I messaged the other people going, and I said, hey, bring your controllers, and I'll bring my Wii U, and we'll play 8-player Smash. And we did, and my goodness, it was a blast. I have been obsessed with 8-player games ever since. Yes, for a very long time we've had games that have exceeded the 4-player limit. However, those games usually require everyone to own their own system, own their own copy of the game, and in most cases have an internet connection, whether that be the internet service you pay for every month or the Wi-Fi from the McDonald's you are staking out while on the run from the mafia. One exception that comes to mind is Mario Kart DS, where just one person needed the game and everyone else could join through DS Download Play, but even then everyone was required to have a whole system just to play. Sure, it wasn't a big beefy game console, but still, it's not like you had a spare DS lying around for anyone. There's also games like Jackbox and Kahoot, where everyone can join from their phone, tablet, computer, or really anything that has a web browser. Problem with that is how heavily relied upon the internet is. I've had players lose connection due to the spotty internet of some places. Controllers, on the other hand, are much cheaper compared to buying an extra PC or console, and what better way to use a controller than with a bunch of other controllers on a game that doesn't need internet? So now that I've set the criteria for what kind of games I'll be talking about today, let's take a look at what I have. Oh boy, I've got all my friends together and I can't wait to play all 3 games. Wait, do we really only have 3 options? Oh. So before I talk about the best, let's talk about the worst. Luigi's Mansion 3 is a fantastic game oozing with personality and creativity in both the gameplay and presentation. I wish I could say the same for the local offline multiplayer. 3 crappy minigames. That's it. I have to specify local offline multiplayer because there is a better 8-player mode in this game, but that requires everyone owning a console and a copy of the game and a Nintendo Switch Online subscription and all that stupid stuff. Granted, anyone who's buying this game isn't buying it for the multiplayer, they're buying it for the campaign. Really good single-player, maybe 2-player co-op game, but sadly, that's not 8 people in one room. Not what we're looking for. Great game, mediocre multiplayer. With that out of the way, let's look at the games that I personally recommend, starting with the most affordable, Pummel Party. I already made a video about this game, so if you'd like to know more about it, go check that out. To summarize, here's what you get. Mario Party with 2 to 8 players, Steam Workshop, all for the low price of $14.99, even cheaper if you wait for a Steam sale. This game is exclusive to PC, which I am primarily a PC gamer, so not a problem for me. For other people though, that might be a problem for them. Next on the list is Super Bomberman R and R2. Doesn't really matter which one you get, they're both 8-player Bomberman. If you've never played Bomberman before, it's really simple. You place bombs and you avoid the blasts. I've heard most people say the first one is better if your primary focus is on local multiplayer. As soon as the match ends, it just starts a new one, whereas with R2, it kicks you back to the menu after a match. Plus, R1 is cheaper than R2. Oh! That's really the price of these games? Yeah, this is my only complaint with these games. $40 to $50 for Bomberman is a bit steep in my opinion, especially when you consider the fact there used to be a free-to-play online version of Bomberman R, which was then shut down and replaced with R2. I won't get into too much detail about these games. What I will say is maybe wait for a sale if you want this game. Final one I'd recommend is the one everyone thinks of when they hear the words 8-player game, and that's, of course, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. There's not really much I need to say about this game. Now, I know I just got done complaining about Bomberman being overpriced, and this one is more expensive than that, so what do I have to say about it? Well, I actually feel that this game is actually worth the $60. You get all of these characters. Now, yes, Bomberman also has a bunch of characters, but these characters aren't just simple skin swaps. They're all fully fleshed out actual characters with varying differences in their fighting styles and stats and gameplay mechanics. A good portion of these characters bring something different to the table when you select them. You're not being given an egg basket where everything's kind of the same. You're being given a toolbox with each tool serving a specific purpose. There's nothing I can say about this game that hasn't already been said. What I will say though is if you only have enough money to buy just one of these games, this is the one you should focus on, and then get those other two sometime down the road. But what if I don't have any money and I want to play Smash Brothers? This is Brawlhalla. It's a free-to-play platform fighter, and, it's okay. It's fine. However, it's, just okay. You don't get all the characters unless grind the game, playing constantly to earn enough in-game currency to unlock each character, or just outright buy them all. It's not as polished as Smash Brothers. Different movesets are not as different. Instead of a focus on different characters with different playstyles, each character has 2 different weapons, and each weapon determines their playstyle. So if you know how to play one character who uses a sword, you already know how to play another character who uses a sword. I will say one problem I've consistently had with this game is just how often I whiff attacks in it. You go right next to someone and sometimes your attack doesn't hit them. And it's not just me, some of my other friends have mentioned this problem as well. Overall, I'd say if you absolutely do not have money, yeah, this can hold you off for a bit, but once you get Smash Ultimate, there's no real reason to go back to Brawlhalla. Of course, there are other 8-player games that I haven't gone over in this video, like Runbow. I never played this game before, that's why I didn't talk about it. I heard it has a local 8-player mode, and yeah, it looks like fun, but because I've never played it before, I can't really share my opinion on it. And then there's Mario Strikers Battle League, a game which I do own, and I have played it, but only by myself, because none of my friends were interested in playing this game. And so because of that, I don't know how fun it is with 8 players. I'm sure it's fun if, everyone knows how to play the game, but in my opinion, some of the controls and mechanics seem a little bit more confusing compared to the other games I've mentioned here. I understand why most people play games online. You don't have to worry about traveling anywhere or figuring out your schedule or realizing, hey, I gotta be home by this time so that I can go do this thing tomorrow. You don't have to worry about the fact that your one friend lives half an hour this way and your other friend lives half an hour that way. It's nice to be able to just push the power button on your PC or game console and just play with whoever, wherever, regardless of where they are in the world, and all from the comfort of your own home. Yeah, it's really nice. However, you also have to figure out, well, do all of my friends own this game? Do all of my friends play on this system? If they play on a console, do they have an online subscription? If they play on a PC, is it powerful enough for the kind of game I'm playing? There's just something really convenient about going to a family event, or going to a game night, or hosting a little something for you and your friends, and really only requiring one screen, one system, one copy of the game, and then just handing a controller over to your buddy and saying, hey, let's play a game. And even if you don't have enough controllers for everyone, you can always reach out to your friends and say, hey, make sure when you come over, bring a controller or two. That's what I used to do back in the day, but now I have more than enough controllers for everyone, and the really nice thing about that is being able to get other people involved who maybe aren't too familiar with games. I remember a few years ago I was playing Dragon Ball FighterZ, and my dad saw it and he was like, I never played a computer game before, so I just picked up another controller and said, you want to try it? And we played, and he was actually quite amused with it. I also have a few friends who never played Bomberman before, and after playing it a few times, they now love it. I have nothing against online gaming. In fact, that's how I've met some of my friends. However, you do also lose that in-person interaction, and, well, it's a little easier to introduce someone to something when you're right there with them. If you're online, you're just kind of like, hey, you should buy this game and try it out, and if your friend buys it and they don't like it, well, that's a waste of money on their part. But being able to just sit someone down and say, take a look at this, oh, here's what the controls are, oh, and just playing it right then and there is just really, really fun. Of course, there are plenty of great 4-player and 2-player games out there. However, there's just something amazing about fitting 8 people in the room on one single game that I just find really intriguing. And if you know of any other 8-player local multiplayer games out there that I haven't mentioned in this video, please leave a comment and let me know. I'm definitely interested in finding out about more, and I'm sure there are some other people out there who might be interested as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna go play video games. I mean, realistically, what else am I gonna do? Record and edit footage for a YouTube video? Yeah, right. What do you think I am, a YouTuber? Okay.